Hello ladies and gents, and welcome back to another Valheim video. Today we're gonna take a look at the Frost Caves. So let's pop in and see what it holds. The first thing you encounter when you enter this instance is one of these breakable walls. There are some slight issues with the hitboxes on them. If you try to melee them and you're too close, the hit may not register. And our first mob is a bat. They don't do that much damage, so don't worry about them even if they swarm you in high numbers. The only issue with them is that the hitbox is very small. Sometimes even in melee you may not register the hit, as you've seen right there. It's pretty weird that I actually hit this bat with the Frostner and it didn't die in one hit. Same thing with this wall. If you're too close to the breakable walls in the cave, melee may not do any damage to them. You might just miss the hitbox. It's a bit weird, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna iron all of that out. No pun intended, but I don't get ironing bugs out. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So as you explore the caves, make sure you check every single wall. As you can see, I got a bit confused. I thought the front wall was the one that was breakable, and it was actually the one to the side. And again, I get swarmed by bats. Just a bit annoying, not in any danger at any time. I am though a bit curious if the bats still attack you if you're holding a torch. I haven't tried that. I think it would be logical for fire to scare them off. I love the sound effects though when they pop. And the sound effects overall in the caves, they're very nice. There's also some weird sound when you pick up things from around those statues. They have the wolf statues. It kind of makes a noise like you're triggering some kind of a wall to move or something. I kind of hoped they'd put that in, you know, like a wall that moves away when you've collected all of those things. I've checked, there's nothing there, nothing moves, and none of the walls seem to have any of these functions. That would have been a nice addition. And since we're talking about additions, I think a mini boss hiding behind that wall would be a great thing. As you can see, even here there seems to be an issue with the hitbox of this thing. This crystal. I've put 2 arrows in it, it still didn't explode. And another thing about these crystals, the clusters you find, if you hit them, you get more crystals. If you pick them, you only get 1 per cluster. So I suggest you hit them if you're looking for the crystals, because picking them is not gonna be advantageous for you. This wall here puzzled me a lot. It made me go melee at it. I thought it was a breakable wall, but actually it's not. This whole room was a bit confusing. I was thinking that there has to be a way around all of that wall. That's why I was aiming at this one. I was trying to get it to break, but it's not that kind of a wall. It's a bit confusing. And we have found some wolves and some of the bats as well. The bats seem to have managed to get through that crack, but the wolves can't get through, so I'm trying to shoot them through that without having to actually fight with them. Now you're gonna see that this room actually connects around, so you gotta go around to get into that one. And be careful, because you may have some of these huge pits. When you break some of the walls, there could be a pit right after it, so make sure you don't fall through that, because the fall damage is gonna be substantial. And some of those pits go very deep down. And don't avoid them, you do have to go down those pits, because there are extra rooms there and a lot of other stuff. So you do need to explore them, just make sure you don't fall. You're going to see what I'm talking about in a second. But right before that, there's another cluster here. I'm gonna put an arrow straight to the middle of it, and again, the hitbox didn't register anything. And as you can see, when you do pick it up, you only get 1 of the crystals. And as we go down through the pit, we encounter some of the bats. Not a big issue again. And we're going to find some wolves. They seem to be in a hibernation state. They're actually on the ground, curled up, so they're easy picks with a bow. Don't go melee at them, there's no point in disturbing all of them at once, because you'll get swarmed.
And we're also going to encounter the first cultists here. You're going to see the fire damage. I am going to take some fire damage here because I got too close. So be careful with them because they have this funnel of flames that comes towards you. Now the dragon's breath. And they are quite persistent with that fire damage. They also explode when they die, so meleeing them, I don't think that's a good idea, especially if you're low geared. However, there are some other tricks that you could use to kill them. The stalactites, if I'm saying this right, the spikes, ice spikes coming from the walls, if you shoot them with arrows they fall, and when they fall they do 50 damage, so you could bait them. I don't think I have any options of that sort in this area because there are none of those things. However, if you do and you can pull them into a corridor, you can use those spikes on the ceiling to kill them easy without taking any damage. Here in these areas that are a bit differently decorated and so on, this is where you find the actual materials that you require, as well as on the walls. You will see me jumping and hitting some of the decorations, whatever they are, because I don't really know what they are. They look like some weird totems, like this one over here, which for some reason that arrow just passed through, no damage at all. And when you find these statues, make sure you collect all of the things. Sometimes they only have the 2 on the front, but sometimes they do have another 2 on the back, so make sure you check that as well. And there are lots of other things around on the ground. And as I've just said that, I forgot to collect one of the claws that was on the stone pedestal to the left when you enter the room. But I'll pick it up later when I come back around. I forgot about it because I was a bit distracted by all these things on the walls, jumping and hitting. Yes, you can take them out by jumping and hitting them. You don't need to shoot them with the bow. You can conserve your arrows in these areas. And some more materials. I've collected a lot of materials from this cave. It had a lot of the hair, a lot of ute, and a lot of the claws as well. I think I just entered in the werewolf's closet. There's nothing there. I just wish that some of these decoration would be a different color or have some additional light to them, because it's a bit difficult to see them. So after you clear the mobs, if you're really looking for materials, I suggest you use a torch or one of those headlamps. And back there again, I was using the pickaxe on a wall, thinking that maybe it may be a breakable one. It wasn't the case. Well, I can't stop hoping that they've added some secrets, some secret passageways in here. But so far, all the caves that I've been in, they all seem to be the same system. There's nothing special, no hidden walls, no secret passageways. I mean, none other than the ice breakable walls. And of course I've run out of space in my inventory, but it's not like I actually need any of the materials except the new ones. So I can skip the bones and the leathers and all of that stuff because I have a lot of it already. So right now I'm gonna speed up this whole section a bit because there's nothing happening, nothing exciting at least, no fights, no nothing. I'm just collecting some of the things that were around. And here I go again, going around, checking again, picking up that claw that I forgot last time. Everything else seems to have been collected. Well, at least everything that had any value. And up we go, because I think there's one more room that we haven't checked. Actually, I know, because this is a voiceover. So I forgot to get the rested buff, and I keep running out of stamina. And I've had issues throughout this entire instance with the stamina regeneration. So get the rested buff, it does count a lot. You feel it a lot, especially when you engage a lot of mobs and you're doing a lot of activities that cost you stamina. Like for example, trying to run away from these guys. But I've repositioned on this ledge and I know they can't get here that easily. Plus I'm also pummeling them with arrows. As I've said, as you can see, they do explode and they do tend to do a bit of damage. So try to stay away from the cultists. I mean, you can melee anything else. You can even melee the cultists if you're fast enough. I mean, with the Fenris armor, you could probably move fast enough to the side and get behind them. Here you can see around this statue, they do have 4 of these pillars around, and all of them have items on. So make sure you collect the back ones as well. Don't forget about those. And of course the youth and the hair on the side as well, they're destructible items. I don't know what exactly it is about these frost caves, but they do kind of make you want to explore them. I think we're all just a bit too used to the troll caves and the burial chambers and so on. We needed something a bit different, and this has been quite a good addition. I'm still of the opinion that some traps and some puzzles in some of these instances could be great. I mean, if we'd have some kind of puzzle on the floor here to access some of the other rooms and so on, it would be a bit more fun. I think they could also add some of the wolves to jump through those ice walls. I think that would be a bit more interesting. If they jump at you, you know, you're taking aim or you're going towards the wall trying to melee it and the wolf jumps at you. I think that jump scare would be a very nice addition for these frost cave. Or at least hide the wolves in their own slots, covered in ice in the walls. You know, when you pass them by, they break out and they come from behind and swarm you. I think that'd be a nice addition. Okay guys, I think this kind of wraps up this instance. There's nothing else to kill, nothing else to collect. I've shown you everything that I could in this particular scenario. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Even share it with your friends if you care. Have a good day. I'll catch you in the next one.